Welcome to this Lifestyle Show 917, and unfortunately this week Guy and Richard are not here, but I did want to bring you a quick update because there's some interesting things happened this week. First this week is the Microsoft event on Thursday, where they'll be announcing Surface devices and some software as well, which we'll come back to that later. But it's come at an interesting time because Panos Panay has left Microsoft, so the former boss of the Surface division, who normally presents these events, is not going to be presenting it this time, and there are rumours that he's going to be off to head the Alexa hardware division at Amazon, which is really interesting. I'm interested to hear what Gary's take on that is. So he'll be pumped for the Amazon devices and maybe not so pumped for Surface devices. It's interesting that this has happened this week, and it's quite a sudden departure. 19 years at Microsoft, and did enjoy his keynotes where he was pumped, and they're always good fun to watch. So we're going to have an event this week. So there's a change around at Microsoft, and we'll talk about who's doing what probably next week. When you think back to the Surface RT, it wasn't the most successful, but I actually really like that form factor. I think the OS let it down, and I'm using a Surface now. I've got loads of Surface devices, so I like the Surface brand, but there hasn't been anything too exciting for some time. Maybe the Surface Neo was the last time something big's been attempted, and that ended up being cancelled. And again, I think that's partly because of the OS side of things. Hopefully Yusuf Mehdi, who was previously Vice President of its consumer marketing, who's now taking on those responsibilities for Windows and Surface businesses, will be able to get that enthusiasm for the Surface brand, and Microsoft don't just leave it to die. I don't think they will. It's a big business for Microsoft now, and I love the Surface devices. I still think they're probably the best Windows devices that you can get. They are premium priced. But I'd like to see them try some new form factors, and we've seen the Surface Duo sort of fade away. So yeah, I want to see them try something new. What to expect from this week's show? I think we're just going to see updated devices. I think we'll see a new Surface Go, which is actually something I'm interested in because my original Surface Go is kind of dying, and I want the small form factor Windows device. So hopefully we'll see a new Surface Go. We'll probably see a Surface Laptop Go, and maybe even a Surface Studio update as well. I've got the Surface Studio, that's what I'm using now. I use this for so much stuff because it runs Hyper-V really well, so I can run all my insider builds on it. So hopefully we'll see those, but it'd be great to see some new form factors, but I don't think we'll see that this time. I think what we'll see this week is more about the software. We'll see a lot about Windows 11 2023 update and all the AI features being into that with Windows Copilot, so I think that's going to be a big focus on the event. And as for the Windows 2023 update, the 23H2, I have recorded a new video about the 23H2 update. I think it's going to be released soon, probably even maybe announced at this week's event of when that will be, at October time I would have thought. And it's in the beta channel at the moment. It'll go to release preview and then to release. So if you want to look at all the new features, particularly around File Explorer, there's some good changes on there, check out that video. We did get some new builds last week. We've got a couple of builds for Dev and Canary. Not too much excitement in those builds, unfortunately. There seems to be a lot of under the hood changes, but I did record videos with all the details in there. So if you've watched those videos, thanks very much. I did mention last week that sort of the interest in new builds has dropped off. It's probably picked up a bit, I would say, last week. But we've got some UI changes and things like that that you can see in the OS. So check out those videos. You can have a look at those. The other thing I've done as well is, if you're interested in a bit of a slice of the 80s, I have uploaded onto YouTube the demo cassette of the Yamaha DX100, which I've had for years, since 1986, and especially side 2, which is the most recent upload, is really funny. It's like an 80s pseudo radio station with DJ and quizzes and things like that, but it was just a demo of the synthesizer from the time. But if you like a bit of 80s music, there's Phil Collins covers, Duran Duran, Tears for Fears, and a really 80s version of the Star Wars theme. So have a look at that on the YouTube channel. Right, so that's it for this quick update. We'll be back next week with a full show. You can email me ian@thislifestyle.com. You can find all my links on YouTube channel. Check out my new songs called Sad Computer on Spotify and Amazon and all the usual places. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.